Right. Well, welcome on tonight, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Like I was saying just previously, this is a little community event that we put on. I mean, we do them live and in person, and we also do them virtually like this whenever, the world permits, when things are happening. We've had a crazy world over the past year. So we've had some fun online events just like we're having tonight. And it's been a common thing that we've continued to make happen. So I mean, if there's ever a time in the future where you can make it again, we will love to have anyone and everyone join us. But tonight, I'm going to be the host tonight. We've got a couple of stories tonight that are also going to just bring some more value to this call tonight. But we just want to thank you if you're watching live or if you're tuning in on maybe the recording. We just want to say thank you first off. But my name is Patrick Van Duzy. I'm actually a personal trainer. I'm based out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, but currently right now, my wife and I have been traveling for some time. So I can't even say that I live in Baton Rouge right now. We don't even have a home. We've been nomadic, the nomad lifestyle as of lately, but we will be home on Sunday, getting back home and putting our roots back down. So that'll be fun. But again, I'm a personal trainer and I'm also a partner with the Juice Plus company. That is one of the reasons why we're here tonight. We are here just sharing our story of health. We're inspiring healthy living around the world. That's the mission of our company. And so tonight really is education for you on maybe some topics that you may have never heard about or thought about, or maybe were informed of. And so hopefully this will be good for you to learn from. So I'm actually going to share my screen and we're going to go through a little bit of a PowerPoint presentation, but also end it off with some stories of us live and in person. And so, but let me get this up real quick. And let me start this. So again, our mission is inspiring healthy living. And we're learning how to make one simple change that can make a difference in the world. And we're here with the Juice Plus company. And we'll talk a little bit more about what Juice Plus is, but we like to start off with some things that kind of bring up the conversation or the topic at hand. And really the topic is that we are in an unhealthy world today. And this is crazy. And even today, these stats are probably a little different because these were 5 or 6 years ago, but 1 in 4 people will die from heart disease. That was in 2015 by the CDC. That's a crazy number. Just think about how many people that you might be close to who struggle with heart disease. 1 in 2 women and 1 in 3 men will develop cancer in their lifetime. 1 in 3 will have diabetes by 2050. And then 1 in 5 children are obese. And that was in 2016. Again, these are kind of some dated topic or dated statistics, but it's just to show the reality of what's been happening over, in the last decade. And it's because of our poor diet. And this quote is amazing by Dr. David Katz. It makes me think our children are more harmed by poor diet than the exposure to drugs, alcohol, or tobacco combined. I can't see my mouse for some reason. I'm trying to minimize this thing. But anyway, hang on, y'all. I can't see my mouse. And for some reason, okay. There we go. Anyway, so, and the reason being is not just from poor diet, but there's also, our poor diet is influenced by so many things. Our environmental toxins are increasing. Again, maybe some topics tonight that you've never really totally looked into, but this is a great picture of what's happening in our communities and in our world that's contributing to the food issues, our air quality, lifestyle choices, so many things. But some examples are pollution, water contaminants, pesticides, prescriptions, over-the-counter drugs, chemicals, skincare products, hair care products, and plastics. All these things are influencing what's going into our body and also how our bodies are adapting to the world. And it's crazy how this is happening. So anyway, and along with that, like I said, our food quality is decreasing from this. More than 50% of Americans eat what we eat is processed. And there's so many reasons. Either they have preservatives in them, flavor enhancers, emulsifiers, synthetic vitamins are pumped into them, growth hormones, genetically modified products. It's just really, not a good thing. And they're just they have less nutrients and less nutrition. Broccoli nowadays can lose up to 50 to 80% of their key nutrients before you even purchase it. And there's a lot of reasons behind that. One of the biggest reasons is just the fact that it takes so long to ship to us. But there's very simple ways to combat this and to keep ourselves in optimal health. And that's what our goal is. It's not about, doing a fad diet or fad lifestyle choice. It's about doing the simple lifestyle choices that you can do and create and do on top of each other every single day that compound on top of each other to create a solid and healthy lifestyle. And these are just the basics, but they all influence each other and have so many more profound effects than the fad stuff we see. So just exercising regularly, that could be going for a walk or doing some yoga with the kid, as you see in the picture, or sleeping 7 to 8 hours of sleep. It's so crucial what sleep can do, and having good quality sleep. That's also huge. But managing stress and just getting out of the stress of life every day, and just being able to enjoy life. There's so much from that. How much laughter influences health. And if you don't know, it's huge. But drinking water, using safer products. But at the end of the day, where we kind of stand with is, and where we really try to do the most that we can for our community, is how to eat more real food. And those are some of the most crucial things that can influence our health. But like I said, we focus on food. We want to focus on fruits and vegetables. And right now, experts agree that most diseases are preventable with good nutrition. It's actually like 75% of chronic diseases and illnesses are preventable with good nutrition. And that's crazy to know. And here's why. It's because oxidative stress and antioxidants, what they do and how they combat each other. And this is the best picture that you can give behind what oxidative stress does. Oxidative stress is what's causing our aging and our disease, and the whenever our body starts to ache in ways that we didn't know it could ache, as we grow older, or whatever, that maybe the disease or the illness just becomes worse and worse over time as we age. It's because of this buildup of oxidative stress. And so the good news, let me do something real quick, because I can't see my thing. Can you
hit the right key? It usually advances the slide.
I know, but I can't see. Sorry, y'all. I couldn't. There we go. All right, we're back. No, we're not. I can't see what I'm doing. I'm sorry, I can't see what I'm doing. And Victoria's sitting right there, and I can't see what I'm doing. But anyway, I can't see my mouse, is what I'm trying to say. But that's why the news isn't that fruits and vegetables are good for you. It's that they could save your life. Y'all bear with me, y'all. I'm not the expert presenter, and for some reason my computer is acting weird.
Aren't you supposed to be the young millennial that knows what they're doing in the computer?
That's exactly how it's supposed to be, Joe. But it just doesn't work that way sometimes.
It's because you got a Mac.
Yeah, that's exactly why. There we go. All right. We're good now. All right. So again, it's not that fruits and vegetables are just good for you, it's that they could save your life. That's so much deeper if this wasn't happening right now. But think about that, is that fruits and vegetables could save your life. So many people are being affected by just chronic disease and illnesses. And this is a crazy fact, is that we need 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. And athletes need even more. And why is that? It's because of all of these things that we were just talking about. Our produce is picked before the nutrition fully develops. It's transported 1,000 miles away in the heat, in the sun. And it's just, quite frankly, it's just killing our produce. It's making it not as good for us. It doesn't mean that's bad, because trust me, you get a banana from the store and it tastes pretty good, but I guarantee you get that really ripe banana, that fully developed banana. Tastes amazing. But 90% of Americans don't eat enough of those servings because I mean, just the count's different. I mean, if you think about it, when I was a kid, I remember whenever I was learning in health class in like the 3rd grade, they said 5 servings a day. That's all we needed. And that was enough. And now it's just, and that was for everyone, 5 servings a day. Whereas now they're seeing that how much you exercise or how much effort you put throughout the day determines how much more produce you need. And also even just the average human, because of our access to food is so poor, that we need more. And so today, so many people are turning to the multivitamin. I mean, I don't know who hasn't or doesn't take a multivitamin right now. And it's great, it's good effort, but there's some reasons why that it's not all the best thing to do, because multivitamin is just a few isolated nutrients. And a lot of people don't realize the difference in this, but when you just take a few isolated nutrients, your body goes, cool, thanks, but I don't know what to do with this now. Because when you give those nutrients in a form of food, the apple has thousands of phytonutrients that work together to make those few isolated nutrients actually work and benefit your body. And that's something that we're seeing in research now on what we call phytonutrients, plant nutrients. That's what that word means. And so, and even now, research shows that those isolated vitamins may do more harm than good. These are things that we weren't thinking about. So that's the label of what's on a multivitamin. That's what's in an apple. And even then, that's just a little list. There's so much more in an apple. That's just a couple hundred of those. There's thousands of phytonutrients in an apple. And so that's why they say an apple a day. But again, we go back to the food quality. And so what I'd like to share is that for me, this community has been so awesome. I'm a personal trainer. As like I said, I'm passionate about health and wellness and coaching people to their ideal healthy lifestyle, or getting them out of the position that they're in, because I've dealt with a lot of people from a medical health standpoint, and they need to do things, and exercise obviously being a great factor. But I saw that there was just this one thing that we couldn't get over, or we couldn't not fix, but because that's not the point, and we shouldn't say that, but like we just couldn't help them find peace in the challenge that they're having, or feel like they've got a grip on it. And it's because their nutrition was just so out of whack. And I knew that, and I was trying everything I could, everything under the sun. I was trying this diet and that diet that was supposed to help this problem. And at the end of the day, I just saw that it didn't quite make sense, because the one question I kept asking myself was, why, whenever you do this, you have to take this good thing out? Like, why that? That doesn't make sense to me. And it goes for everything. I mean, if you think about any maybe fad diet that you've ever looked at, or fad health program, it's like talking about taking something out, and that this is the only thing you can eat. And what Juice Plus started to help me understand, and this community helped me to understand, was the fact that we need everything that's from the earth. We need all of it, as much of it that we can. Every little color doesn't mean a whole lot of it. A little bit of every color goes so much further than a lot of just one thing that might be promoted as this healthy thing to do. And that made sense to me, because why can't we just eat the rainbow? And so when I got to start to educate people, and I learned what this could do in my body, as somebody who was already doing everything I could to keep track of my health, I saw my health journey skyrocket. I went through some things whenever I was young and in college, and I was way gone on my health, and I needed to come back and get myself back in the right spot. And so I went through a long health journey, and I fought these battles that people are going through, the challenges of trying to keep it in check. I mean, I know probably every one of us has tried to lose the weight, but we can't keep it off, or we tried to make the lifestyle choice, but we can't stick to it. And that was something I saw right from the get-go, and this helped and made so much sense. I know for me, it's been a whirlwind of a change, from whenever I was just doing this and that, and counting this and tracking that. And now it's just, I live life, and I live it to the fullest, and I eat as healthy as I can, because I know that this is going to do much more for my body, and reducing my stress, and getting more sleep, and just some simple exercise. It doesn't have to be hard. I like to work out hard, but I also know that a good simple day means so much for my body. Like just go and walk the dog or something. And so this whole educational process has meant the world for me and what I've been able to give to my clients. But I'm excited to be able to share some more stories. I'm not going to share them. I'm going to have people share them. But we've got 3 people on tonight who have all very different stories, and maybe it'll mean something to you, or maybe it'll resonate with you and help you think about somebody else who might need to hear this mission. So I want you to think about that too as you're listening. So I'm going to bring on first Miss Amy. Amy, I don't know why I never know how to pronounce your last name. Can you tell me your last name, Amy?
Try and say it first.
I was gonna say Cimo, but Victoria's yelling in my ear, telling me Cimo. Is that right?
It's Cimo, yeah.
Cimo. Okay.
Saucy, or
sorry.
Cimo if you're in Italy. In Italy, it's Cimo.
Oh, Cimo. But you gotta put that Italian accent on it. Okay. Well, Amy, I know that, right? So for those of you that don't know Amy is a personal trainer, a new personal trainer, but she has gone through a health journey of her own that has brought so much out for her. And so I'm excited for her to be able to share what does Juice Plus, what has it meant to you in this journey? What have you just come to know with Juice Plus? Oh, I'm sorry. I muted you, Amy. I don't know why I muted you. Can you unmute yourself?
How are you going to ask me to talk and then mute me?
Because I was going to mute myself.
Come on, Patrick.
I was hovering over your name.
Anyway, like I was saying, I usually like to start with a little background about how I got to become a personal trainer, because this is new for me. I've been certified since May of this year, and I'm actually also working on a nutrition coaching certification as well, with the goal of being more of a holistic type health coach, really focused on helping people work through making healthier choices with mindset change as well. So a year and a half, 2 years ago, was working a regular office job. I actually have a background in digital marketing, and I was doing that, working for a local company for 13 years. COVID changed that for me. And now I'm in a completely different space and have actually completely transitioned what I'm doing. I have, like Patrick said, gone through my own health journey, being overweight most of my life. Health and fitness was a struggle for me. Losing weight was a struggle for me. I found something that worked a while back, and I lost a bulk of the weight, lost probably close to 100 pounds or so, and gained it back here or there, lost it again, gained it back. So ever since I lost it, I've really been struggling to maintain it, and I've just been yo-yoing. And so lifestyle has been really the hardest thing for me to figure out, is how do you make those changes long term? How do you make them permanent? And how do you just live your life without having to diet, quote unquote, all the time? When Juice Plus came up, I, had talked to Victoria several times. I knew about it, was really kind of okay with what I was doing. And then I got to a point where I was really stagnant on my routine, worked out consistently, ate well most of the time, was taking a lot of specific vitamins, not a multivitamin, but very specific targeted vitamins, and really felt like they weren't doing anything for me anymore. So when I looked at Juice Plus again, at that point, I was ready to make a change. It really made sense to me. Now moving into the health and wellness space, the fact that it's simply just fruits and veggies in a capsule, more than 30 fruits and veggies, it really made sense. If there's one thing that your body will never not need, it's nutrients. So no matter what, you're always going to make a good decision by giving your body nutrients. So I started taking it probably after a few months. What I usually tell people I noticed, because I was a fairly healthy person, I ate well, I worked out, my labs were pretty good. I wasn't worried about, cholesterol or blood pressure, things like that. But I really noticed that it helped my mental health more than anything else. And I attribute that to having more sustained energy from taking Juice Plus, more sustained energy throughout the day, working long days, training early in the morning, training in the evenings, getting up, doing it again the next day. I also do freelance marketing work, so I do that in the middle of the day to serve my clients that way. And it allowed me to have more sustained energy, which meant I was staying productive during the day. I had less brain fog, so a lot more mental focus and clarity. I was able to get a lot more done, which in turn lowered my stress levels and made my stress more manageable. Before I was taking Juice Plus, I was having a lot of anxiety, a lot of overwhelm in life, and constant change, trying to make decisions here or there about what I was going to do, the way I was moving down this path. And some days I was experiencing very debilitating anxiety where I literally would be on the couch staring at the ceiling because I didn't know what else to do. So having the energy, having my stress levels more manageable, lowered my anxiety, just made it able for me to function on a daily basis. And like some of the slides we looked at, all of those things are very cyclical. So if you have a lot of stress, you're not going to sleep well, you're not going to be productive, you're not going to function, you're not going to make good choices. So all of that kind of works hand in hand. And that is really the biggest piece for me, is that it helps me in that way. And mental health and mindset is one thing that I really want to pass along to other people. It's something that I've struggled with, and I want to, working in this space, be able to provide other people with tools that they can use from my personal experience to help them make better choices. And nutrients obviously is one of the biggest ones. So Juice Plus has done a lot for me in that respect.
Wow, it's amazing how many areas of your life it can infiltrate. Just having a healthier lifestyle. You've probably seen the things as far as exercise influences how we feel, or exercise influences our sleep. But really, it's like Amy just said, and I just want to highlight, she said it's cyclical. It all influences each other. And if one part of the wheel or one part of the gears isn't working right, then the whole gear mechanism doesn't work very well. And so thank you, Amy. That's so great to hear, just the success from that. And she's talking about Juice Plus, and she's saying it. And I know you're probably thinking, well, what is Juice Plus? And so real quick, before I go on to the next stories, I am going to share just real quick what it looks like. Okay. So these are our guys right here. Ooh, you can't see it. There we go. It's fruits and vegetables. Okay. You need to go away, Mr. Fuzzy Face. You need to go away. I got you right here. Boom. You're gone. So here's our fruits and vegetables. It's red and green. Yes, but really that's what's in them. You got your beautiful colors, but what I like to talk about, and then also this is our berry blend. So all three of this together, we call them the trio. And then we add in our omegas, and we have our quad. We also have a complete plant-based shake, which is actually some protein and carbohydrates together that is plant-based, non-GMO, fully vegan, gluten-free. I don't have the bag on me right now because it's in the car. Again, we're traveling, so everything's all over the place. But it's, again, all of it is to fill the gaps in our diet, the deficiencies in our diet that we have, we think there's so many things that need to fill. I know Amy said she was taking a lot of different vitamins and whatnot to try to fill these gaps in our diet. We've probably all talked about supplements in the past, maybe with a friend, maybe with some type of fitness, or maybe even a medical advisor to tell us to take some type of vitamins. But at the end of the day, the deficiency is fruits and vegetables, and that's what Juice Plus is here to provide. So I'm just going to hold up one of the bottles real quick, and all of them had the same thing on them. But one of the things, or there's three things to me when I was looking at this 5.5 years ago as a trainer, that stood out to me, that really made me start to understand. But it also made me, it challenged me in a way. So watch this. But Juice Plus is whole food. It's fruits and vegetables in a capsule. That's literally what it is. If you were to find Juice Plus in a store, which you won't, because that's how we bring it to our customers, is through independent partners like ourselves. But if you were to find Juice Plus in the stores, you would find it in the produce section, which is really crazy to think. Not in the supplement aisle, which you might be thinking, oh, I'd find it on that aisle. No, you'd find it in the produce section. Why? Because we actually have a nutrition facts label on our bottle, which is really crazy. And why does that matter? Because it's telling us that it's food. It's got all of those live phytonutrients that we were talking about, it like the apple was showing earlier. You have that in here because it's just juiced, dried, dehydrated produce. They take it all, they put it into this big pulverizer, then they take the water and the sugar out, and you're left with just the pulp. And like I said, a little bit of everything goes so much further than a lot of one thing. And that's what the point of Juice Plus is to give you a little bit of everything. We have with all of our quad, you can get about almost 40 different plant sources in your body every day. If you add in our shakes, almost 50 different plant sources. So think about a lot of, or a little bit of everything is the point. But the next thing about Juice Plus that stands out is that it's NSF certified. I had to be educated on what this meant. And the best way for me to describe how big of a deal this is that in the United States, there's about 50,000 different supplements in the United States. And only 1% of them are NSF certified. Tells you it's an elite class. That's what that means. Not that nobody has it. Nobody has it because it's really hard to get it. What this means is that it's third-party tested by a different source, not the company, a different company. And they're the governing body that tells what is banned substances, what is harmful substances. And even then they partner with athletic governing bodies, and they like the World Anti-Doping Association. And they are saying what is in here is there's nothing harmful, but there's also nothing that maybe is, a performance enhancing drug or anything like that. Because there's stuff on the shelf that you can get that really has stuff in there that you don't know what it can do to your body. And that's a huge deal for me when it comes to recommending a product to my clients. And then lastly, the main point with Juice Plus that really just told me, like, I don't know why I'm trusting anything else. Juice Plus has now almost 40, they have about 44 studies and counting done that are published in peer-reviewed medical journals. They're double-blind, placebo-controlled studies. And these are some of the most, well put together studies on that by third-party universities and medical research facilities that are researching Juice Plus, the product, not something in Juice Plus, but Juice Plus, the product. And so when I was sitting in the room and I saw a lot of medical professionals talking about this research and how they trusted that, to me, that was just so profound. And at that point I was like, well, now I get it, because this is doing a lot. And even from a medical perspective, it's doing so much. So like I said, I wanted to finish off with these last two individuals who have been so much to me in the past. They've, one as of recently been able to meet, and she's just been amazing. So Jhazmine, I want to thank you for jumping on tonight and sharing a little bit. But I would love to hear, what has the Juice Plus product meant to you? Like I said, what does it mean to you, and what have you felt, or what are you hopeful for?
Okay, so a little background about myself that a lot of people don't know. I actually studied as a medical assistant, have a medical assistant diploma, worked in pediatric office for a long time before Katrina. After Katrina, being in Houston, I actually went to massage therapy. So a lot of people don't know that about me. So I've always been in, eating healthy. I'm Hispanic. I love eating fruits, vegetables, everything of that. I love it. All, tropical fruits. That's all me. So I've always thought I ate healthy. I always thought, yeah, I eat some bad stuff, whatever, no big deal. That being said, I've also tried so many different things, so many expensive things that supposedly will help you with, body muscle toning, being able to actually, with my issues that I've had in the past with surgeries, it'll help you and this and that, spend a lot of money on that. Ironically, I got to thank my husband's cousin that kept, telling me about it. And, I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. But to be honest with you, since I started taking the Juice Plus, I wish I would have said yes a long time ago. I wish I would have started taking this a long time ago. For me, I've always struggled with sleep for so long. I've taken so many different medications, so many different doctors, even on a narcotic, Klonopin, that they were trying to get me to try to get to sleep. Then they even put me on Adderall because I was actually falling asleep behind the wheel to get to work, and it's like, that's something you can't have happen either. That's tragic, running into the back of somebody driving 70 miles per hour. So I finally, gave in, and I decided, you know what, I'm home, I'm trying to recuperate. Let's do it. Let me try this. For the little amount of time that I've actually gotten a chance to have Juice Plus, I'm ecstatic. I am off the Klonopin. I am off the Adderall. I mean, I actually sleep more now. Sleep more now. I am more alert. The brain fog, the depression, the anxiety, all of that for me and specifically has helped me so much that I feel more energetic. I feel, the want to do more. So I actually invited a couple of my friends to try the same thing. And one of them, it means the world to me. He actually just got diagnosed with cancer. And, I kept saying, he needs this, he needs this, he needs this. I actually spoke to him last night, and to hear him seeing and hearing in his voice that he's, out of depression, that he's actually feeling more energetic, his mental status has definitely changed. To me, I was like, yes, because it makes me feel good to know that it's not just making me feel good getting all this nutrients, but it's making the people that I care about the most feel good. And that is what Juice Plus means to me. It's the nutrition that your body actually needs, and it'll target what your body needs. It could be different for me than it is for somebody else. I can't tell you to get off your medicine that this is going to be a miracle worker. No, it doesn't go that way. It gives you the nutrition your body needs, and that is the most important of all.
Yes, yes. I love that. I love what you just said. And again, I mean, this is just talking about what whole food does. That's what Juice Plus is there to do, is to provide more whole food in your diet, fruits and vegetables. And we are not claiming that Juice Plus is going to do anything for anyone. I just want to make that clear. But we do know, if you look up an issue and what better nutrition can do, the research doesn't lie. What, for the last, multiple decades of proven research, that good nutrition can help. And that's what Juice Plus is providing. And we have clinical research that's showing that. And so when Jhazmine's talking about it almost can target what's going on. What we're saying is that, everything is influenced better with good nutrition. That's the point. So Jhazmine, thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you for sharing that story of your friend. And I know it means a lot to you, and I know it means a lot to us to hear, because again, I wanted y'all to think of maybe a close friend or a relative or anybody who might need to hear this message tonight. But Joe, thank you for jumping on as well. Just so everybody knows, Joe and I go way back now. It's been a while now, but we've been good friends, friends in the restaurant business. And so we got to eat some food together, some bad food, some good food. But Joe's a good friend of mine. I love what he brings to the story, as far as, Joe's a dad. He's a single dad, and he has 2 kids who are a bundle of joy, and they're so awesome. Usually they're sitting behind him smiling and waving at the camera, just being cheese balls back there. But Joe, if you don't mind sharing, I know for you as a dad, you've told me in the past that that means a lot to be able to provide this for your family. I also know that there's been some experiences for yourself as far as your own personal health. If you could share just what Juice Plus has meant to all of that for me.
Yeah, I love to share. I got to follow those 2 stories though, so mine's not as exciting. But no, I mean, having grown up my life playing sports and just protein. I mean, Pat talked about the meals we had. He always used to ask, "Hey, Joe, can I take home a chicken?" Because we worked at a rotisserie place. He would want a whole chicken to take with him. No vegetables, just a chicken. So that's kind of the sports mentality of guys. And I never realized that, I always just thought, I have digestive issues, I'm always going to feel like this, and, because I was eating protein, because that's what I was, taught growing up, playing sports and lifting weights, and that's what I needed. So I was never really fully healthy. Now at 40, taking Juice Plus, I definitely feel better than I felt in my 30s and my late 20s. So it definitely, there's the meme, how much pain are you in? Or the normal amount of pain. Like, it's how much does your stomach hurt? Oh, it's the normal amount of hurt. Well, your stomach's not supposed to hurt. You're supposed to be healthy and walk through life and not be like that. So it's and it's amazing how simple it is with the fruits and vegetables. I was down almost 45 pounds at one point. I've gained some back because I've been doing some weightlifting, but it really helped. It helped, like both the ladies said, with energy. For me personally, it helped my cravings. I craved better foods, and I was definitely sleeping better. And it was easier for me to stay hydrated. That was another thing. I'm always drinking a lot of water, but I felt like I could never get enough. And now that I've been on the Juice Plus, I'm definitely hydrated. I'm definitely not feeling that feeling. As far as being able to have the gummies for the kids, it's a big deal. My son's playing, well, they're both playing sports right now. But they wake up more refreshed and energetic. Every morning, Dad, was my Juice Plus? Like, all right, relax, guys. Like, can we get breakfast first? Like, okay. So I give it to them with breakfast, but they love taking it. And, I've seen a difference in them being happy and healthy. They're not run down. They sleep better. They're not cranky. They don't get hangry. Anybody that has kids knows about the hangry. And they only want, when I keep snacks in the house for them, I always keep snacks for me, like hummus and apples and carrots and stuff. And they want all that stuff. They don't want, I got a box of Pringles, that big 48 pack of Pringles at Sam's Club. I think back in July, and it's not even gone yet. Like, they don't eat that stuff. They want to eat the good stuff. So I'm very thankful for that. But it's been such a simple thing to just make you feel like you're not in pain, like you're not constantly having digestive issues, or you're not, I don't know, like your body feels like it's supposed to feel, So I've had people, my dad's on it, he's in his 60s, and he's experiencing the same thing. He said, I've never felt normal, like in my gut in my life. And in his 60s, he feels normal. So it's funny.
That's why that's huge. I mean, like he's like, in 60 years, I've never really known what normal felt like, and now I kind of see what normal feels like now. It feels good. Like it's it's funny, but it's profound at the same time. But no, if y'all can't catch this, but Joe's from Boston. If you couldn't catch it, or not Boston, he's from Massachusetts. I always say Boston. He's from Massachusetts. It's such a small state that it's basically the same thing.
Should I have been typing so people could read what I was saying, because I couldn't understand?
That's what I was going to say. If you couldn't catch it by his accent,
my kids
from
make fun of my accent too. It's fun.
And he's living in the South, and if you can't catch it from his sense of humor, he's definitely a Massachusetts boy. But anyway,
there's another word for that we won't see on the call.
Yeah, I was going to say it, but I figured we'd just save that for later. But anyway,
put it in the chat.
Put it in the chat. Well, thank you so much, ladies and Joe, for sharing tonight. And thank you all for joining in tonight. Again, if any of this spoke out to you, maybe for yourself or for a family member or a friend, please share this with them, share this message. I'm going to have a recording here in just a little while to be able to share. But one last thing that Joe brought up that I want to share, we do have gummies for children. And this is one of the biggest actually spots in our president founder's heart. He just talked about it at our conference just recently, how much more of a future we have as a company and bringing this to the kids. We want to be able to bring up a new and healthy, not a new, but a young and healthy generation, a vibrant generation of people who are thinking about their health. And we've just seen it play such a factor. We all wish we could have started taking this as kids. Probably would have changed a lot of our outcomes. However, that's why we're so passionate about this for the kids. Kids get it for free. That's also why we talk about it as well. If a parent sponsors a child, a parent buys the product, the child can get a whole nother order for the child for free. Children under the age of 13 get gummies. Children over the age of 13 get capsules. It's just amazing to be able to get this stuff in the kids' hands. I wish I'd have known this when I was 13, because I had some challenges overeating as a kid, just being that athlete type. But again, if you have any questions that need to be answered, please reach out to the person who might have invited you. Also, if you thought of somebody, please let them know. Please tell them, hey, I heard something last night or tonight that I think you would love to hear. I think with what you're going through or what you love to talk about, you would love this. We want to connect with them. And we just thank you all for joining in tonight. And we hope that y'all have a great rest of your evening. We'll see y'all soon and talk to y'all soon. Bye, everybody.